The AAF is giving its players, regardless of position, a 3-year non-guaranteed contract worth $250,000. Now, the salaries are said to be in line with the XFL, which has said it's going to pay its players $75,000 per season. So $75,000, $20 million. Max, if this is true, what does the $20 million contract demands say about Colin?
Yeah, I think some people take that to mean that he doesn't want to play football anymore. I don't think that at all. It doesn't seem that way to me at all. It seems to me that he knows his value. Look, the AAF did some numbers in their debut. You know, Trent Richardson now, he's doing a little something there. They got some ex-NFL players there. There's an appetite for football. It may not be good for the NFL in the long run, right, because it could water down demand by increasing supply. But there is enough of an appetite for football that thing could work. If Colin Kaepernick plays for them, you think people will watch? Molly, would you watch?
Yes.
Yeah, people are going to watch that. So he
100%.
understands he's going to make hundreds of millions of dollars for the league. He knows his value.
What does a backup quarterback make? Because that's what he would be in the NFL, right?
Right, but that's his market value if there's only an NFL and that they won't give him a job. But his value if they're rival leagues trying to get attention is sky high, and he understands that.
I think that is insane. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think that people would clamor to watch and support Colin Kaepernick week 1 or week 2. But over the course of a season, no, he ain't going to garner that much attention. I think we're getting a bit beside ourselves.
You sure? How good would he be in that league?
Well,
what if he's the MVP of the league and he's looking?
You don't think a lot of people, Stephen A., would want to take their kids out to see Colin Kaepernick and buy Colin Kaepernick
especially if he's balling.
No. Well, first of all, balling against who? How many times do I bring up competition? Balling against who? Now, if you were balling in the NFL, that would be different. But don't tell me that the AFF or the AAF or whatever league you want to point to, he ain't playing in the NFL, but people gonna clamor to watch him week after week.
You remember back in the day?
I think if Colin Kaepernick showed up anywhere the first time, everyone would clamor to watch him. But that's about it.
What if he's throwing 5 touchdowns a game?
Against who?
That's the point.
Against who?
They're good. A lot of these are ex-NFL. There are ex-NFL players, and they're good enough to make it look like good football, and he would shine.
Don't talk like no one comprehends your point. We get it, but you sound, Max, like you could be out there playing against Colin Kaepernick, and people will watch. No, they wouldn't, because you can't play football, and neither can I.
So stop it.
No.
The AAF game tied NBA ratings.
Excuse me?
That AAF game tied NBA ratings. Wasn't it like 3 million?
Time out. A game. I specifically said.
You want the consistency.
I specifically said the first go round. I would clamor to watch.
Do you remember?
But then after that, once he's back out of sight, out of mind, who cares?
Remember back in the day when a Major League Baseball player was getting older, but he could still hit, but maybe not play defense, or he wasn't quite good enough to hit Major League pitching anymore. I think it was Bob Horner, one of those slugs. Go over to Japan and become a big star because they were playing baseball at a high level, but not high enough that this guy couldn't shine.
He was a big star where?
In Japan.
Thank you.
Well, I'm saying that because it's a high enough level so to the naked eye, it looks like good level football. If he could shine in the AAF, he would do big ratings.
What if it's Tim Tebow?
What about it?
What if it's Tim Tebow going up against Colin Kaepernick?
A game.
No, you're going to watch more than a game.
You're not listening, Molly. You're really not listening to me. You're really not listening to me. Anybody will watch Colin Kaepernick for a game to see. But once you see, then it's not about that anymore.
Do you think that any of the decline in the ratings,
allure is gone after that.
Do you think that any of the decline in the ratings, because people were very quick to say, oh, the NFL ratings are down, and it's because of the protests. People are protesting the protest.
False.
Oh, that was proven false. Do you think, but although, boy, that ran in the media for like a year. Everyone assumed it was true.
Because the NFL was telling us, the owners were telling us that they were losing money.
Based on their own
once the financial records came out, then we saw otherwise.
Now, let me ask you something. Do you think there's anything to the idea that maybe the ratings were down for the Super Bowl because there's a protest kind of vote against the exclusion of Colin Kaepernick? Do you believe there are people who support Kaepernick and who are no longer watching the NFL? Do you believe that they would watch the AAF if the AAF gave Kaepernick a job?
I believe there are millions of people who support Colin Kaepernick. And there are millions of people who would stand up for him. And if he showed up in any league, there would be millions of people who would watch him. That game.
But what if he balled? What if he balled?
Stephen A. thinks it's just a
ultimately
one-time
it's the
thing.
competition. If he's balling against dudes that can barely run with Max,
Here's
no,
the thing
they're
about
not going to
Kaepernick.
care.
Here's the thing about
they're not
Kaepernick.
going to care.
There are some guys whose talent, like if Kaepernick's going well, it's going to look spectacular. He has a big arm and he can run. So if he's looking spectacular, if he's putting on a show against good but not great opposition, but good enough to make it look like a professional football game, and you get the protest vote now following Kaepernick. Put it this way. What are the margins, Stephen A? How many extra people do you need to watch the league to get a bump in the ratings? A couple 100,000 nationwide?
And all I'm saying to you is that if you're talking about something like that, a couple of 100,000, for a few weeks, okay, fine. But at the end of the day, if it ain't the National Football League and it's a league that's viewed as significantly inferior, a diminished product per se, compared to what you're accustomed to watching from September through January, there is no one that's going to do that.
Colin
And as a result,
Kaepernick,
Colin
Johnny
Kaepernick
Manziel.
does not deserve $20 million for that.
If you were running the AAF, you own the league, right?
I wouldn't give him $20 million.
Oh, I give him 20.
I wouldn't give hell no. I wouldn't give him 10. I wouldn't give him 10 until he showed me he could play again. He's been out of the league for 3 years.
I'd give him the 20 and then I'd laugh to the bank.
Okay, that's fine. Because if you're telling me that I can make that up for a couple of weeks of eyeballs, that's different. But I'm telling you, outside those couple of weeks, ain't happening.
You know what's on the,
if you're not telling me, if you're telling me anything beyond a couple of weeks, it ain't happening.
You know what's on the line for the AAF if they get a real foothold and get off-season football as a major thing on an ongoing basis? So many billions of dollars.
Okay.
Billions
Yeah,
are
all
on
you
the
need
line.
is sponsors,
Okay.
commercials.